California Sunset.
Hey,
Good call, Adam.
nicely done.
And that's going to come here in a little bit. At the beginning, I'll have talked about it when I do the little intro. Anyway, where were we at before my mom called?
Cars.
Oh, yeah.
And
the Mustang Baby Factory. I'm telling you, bro. And all my friends drove. I mean, that's back in the day. Like these kids now, they have like pretty nice cars. You see them driving around in some pretty pimp cars. I mean, what happened to the day when every kid had just a shitmobile? When did that happen?
I'm not sure what the change is. I mean, I had to put an engine in my car. Like Dad had a car, but the engine was blown or whatever it was, didn't run. So it just sat around until we got good and ready to finally put an engine in it, and then I had a car to drive.
All right.
That was why? Because he had that car.
Right.
Am I making sense?
Right,
I mean, beyond
right,
that, there was no let's buy Luke a car. Let's
buy who?
Let's buy Jack a car.
Why don't you turn that around, my friend? I'll edit it. We're good.
I'm sorry. Let's buy Jack a car. Let's buy Sam a car. No, it was whatever was the crappiest car in the stable. That's what the newly licensed driver got to drive.
All right.
And as long as I had a radio, frankly, I didn't care.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't know. So
my first car was a 71 Volkswagen.
Nice. Volkswagen what?
Beetle.
Really?
Yeah.
You had a Beetle?
Yeah.
That's pimp.
It was orange with a black bra on the front and a black luggage rack.
I had a girlfriend
that was awesome.
I had a girlfriend that matched that description actually pretty well too. Orange with a black bra and a luggage rack.
It was called the Beast. That's what my friends called it.
My friends called it the Stang.
That was your first car.
That was my first car.
Mustang.
Yeah. Yeah, it was my mom's car, and then she bought a Gran Torino, and she drove that, and let me drive the 81 Mustang. And the 81 Mustang is the ugliest of all Mustangs, by the way.
Mustang 2?
I don't know.
It was on that chassis?
Yeah. I know where the gas goes, I know where my ass goes. That's what I know about cars. It was a black Mustang, that's all I knew. But it was all like the old, what's that stuff called? The dash is made out of the old vinyl. Like, there was nothing sturdy about that car at all. Ever,
V6?
Yeah. No, I think it was a 4-banger.
I4, huh?
Yeah, because it didn't have any balls.
You're right. I just looked it up. That is an ugly-ass car, dude.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
It's that old Mustang.
I'm surprised anybody got ass in that car.
You know what? It's high school.
I remember my senior year when I was cruising my Volkswagen around that there was this girl in our class. Her name was Zoe Wilhite, and her grandpa bought her a brand new Ford Probe, and we thought that was like the coolest thing in the world. It was like this light purple color.
When you'd have given her a Probe yourself, if she
was my date for prom, dude.
Had a boy.
Did you get lucky in the Probe?
No.
Did you get lucky in the?
No.
All right. I remember it was big in high school.
Did you get lucky? No.
The Geostorm. Remember the Geostorm?
Oh, the Geos.
Oh, everybody loved the Geos when I was in high school. To my senior prom, I took a Geo Metro. That's what Mom was driving at that time. When I was a senior in high school, it was a Geo Metro. Yeah.
3-cylinder.
I don't know, probably like 2-cylinder. It was not. I told my date, you might have to get a push at a certain time.
Whenever I had a date or there was like a dance at school, I'd got to take my mom's car, which was a.
What was Janice cruising?
She was cruising a 1992.
Oh my God, pimp!
I totally blanked on it. Crown Vic.
Wow.
So it's gray.
Wow, my mom's Geo Metro was a stick. Huh? So you can grind those gears. Yeah, I tried to get it to peel out. I found out that is physically impossible. Yeah, you can't do it. I tried.
It's funny. We went to cars because the whole hair metal thing is completely tied to that. I mean, they're always singing about fast cars, and in the videos, they're always driving like Ferraris and hot rods and stuff like that.
The Mustang had a crew sticker on it. Yeah.
Did it?
Oh yeah, had bulls. Had a lot of bumper stickers. Bumper stickers were big. I don't know why. That's before they had the cool little white decals you could put on cars. You know what I mean? That's back. You had the big ugly bumper sticker, but that's and the bumpers were all just flimsy and oh man, and that's the hair rock. That's hair rock for you, man.
Those cars had. I don't know. They weren't up until like the mid '80s. You could still get a car with an actual bumper on it.
Yeah, Yeah, no, yeah, well, not yeah. No, the Mustang.
Maybe
didn't.
not the Mustang.
No, it was all one piece. It was not
On the Delta 88. I could house homeless people under just the bumper of that car. Oh, it was a city block long, 2-door, but I fit. We went to a car show one time, and let me tell you, Jack fit 7 high school boys in that car.
nice.
Because we didn't have enough gas to take more than one car.
Nice.
Yeah, it was ugly.
And that's how it was. I mean, okay, when you went to concerts back in the day, the hair metal or whatever, did you go to any concerts really, Adam, or no?
No, actually the first concert I went to was when I was working at Budweiser. The first, I went to a lot of country concerts. But first, rock was Cheap Trick opening for Alice Cooper.
Not like
at the
Alice
Budweiser
Cooper.
Event Center.
That's a funny combo there.
I like Cheap Trick. I'm into
Oh,
Cheap
nothing
Trick.
wrong with Cheap Trick. It's just Cheap Trick and Alice Cooper. It ain't exactly peanut butter and jelly.
No, well, I mean, they're both the 70s rockers. They kind of...
And speaking of Alice Cooper, this is for Jack. Motley Crue and Alice Cooper at the Pepsi Center, August 2nd, 2014.
We should seriously think about going. What are tickets on that? How much?
Let me see. They're anywhere from $45 to $5,352.
You're kidding.
Let's go for the $45 ones.
I mean, that's my it's my daughter's birthday.
I think for...
I think
let's
she
take
would like
her.
her dad to go to
Let's
the
take her.
concert.
Well, it's not my weekend with her, so.
We'll have to think maybe about doing that and going to see Molly.
Oh, yeah.
Jill Tassi, comedian Jill Tassi, a person we booked quite a bit, actually was on Facebook saying she had tickets. She's our age. She doesn't look it. She actually takes care of herself, I guess, but she looks pretty good for her age.
Well, then she shouldn't have to pay for a ticket.
Yeah, well, she did.
Not the Motley Crue, anyway.
And she was like, yeah, going to Crew. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So, good for you. Did you ever watch Behind the Musics?
Oh, yeah.
Of all the hair
I
rock
still
bands?
watch Behind the Music on YouTube.
They have them?
Yeah, you can get Behind the Music on YouTube, like the 80s ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it popped up on me. Just how you look up something that someone will send you a link about see this funny dog, and then it gives you the recommendations. And there was Behind the Music, and it was actually Guns N' Roses, the tragic downfall of GNR.
I don't know if I saw that one.
Oh, it was really good.
I saw Motley Crue and I saw Def Leppard's.
I didn't see Leopards. I saw Cruise.
Cruise was that. I mean, did you read the Dirt?
I think I've read everything that's been put out about the Crew.
They have a biography. It's called The Dirt, right?
Yeah.
It's got the whiskey bottle in front of it. Mm-hmm. How was it?
It was a little lame, truth be told. I was expecting a little more dirt, actually.
And it wasn't.
I didn't think it was anything more than... It's like what you would expect, but tame.
So, I mean, was it a book, like, if reading the book and watching Behind the Music basically got the same info? A little more detailed in the book, maybe?
I tell you what I was missing when reading it was people who were actually there saying it and hearing their reaction. Like the Behind the Music, when they talk about when Nikki Sixx collapses at the Rainbow and they take him to the hospital because he's OD'd on heroin.
Right.
And he wakes up and leaves the hospital after
Right.
he was dead.
Yeah, they brought him back.
Brought him back to life, leaves the hospital when they turn their back on him for 10 minutes?
Right.
And he leaves the hospital, goes back home, and does more heroin.
And then wakes up 2 days later with the needle still in his arm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't get any more rock star than that.
Did you watch Behind the Music? You got to watch them, man. They're funny. Motley Crue and Ozzy were touring together. They were telling these stories, and they'd have gross out contests. Mm-hmm. Did you see that? And some of the stuff they do to each other, Adam, like they would get out, and Ozzy, there was like a line of ants. He'd snort them up like they were Coke. Well, one day they said Tommy Lee gets out they're having gross out contests, and they said Ozzy always won. He was like the undisputed champion of being disgusting. Tommy Lee takes a piss on the sidewalk. Remember the story? He pees on the sidewalk, and he's going to get down and lick his own piss up. Ozzy shoves him out of the way, gets on all fours and starts lapping this dude's pee up, man. Just going at it. Those are stories like you hear it, and I think that's maybe kind of part of the appeal to our generation is like, how'd you survive? How are you still alive?
Yeah.
Well,
many didn't make it. There's a bunch that didn't make it.
Who didn't
man.
make it? Right? I mean, off the top.
Razzle.
Which one's Razzle?
Razzle's the guy that he was the drummer from Hanoi Rocks, They're
I
a
don't know who
Finnish
that is.
band.
Yeah.
I think they kind of peaked in like 86. Well, they broke up in 86 because Razzle died. He was in the car with Vince Neil when Vince totaled his Ferrari or whatever sports car
in L.A. Yeah.
that it was. You know, I mean, there were a number of car accidents, and then the ODs. I can't. Gosh, that's funny. Now that you mention it, I am not able to come up with as many names really at all as I thought that I was going to end up with. There is and I don't know, maybe you find it on YouTube or something like that, but I remember seeing this is like a tribute to dead hair metal guys, and it took like 5 minutes with only a few seconds on each one.
Who was the Metallica guy who died in the bus
Cliff
wreck?
Burton
Yes,
was a bass player.
Yes, and he was like the man, right? He was like the bass player of all bass players.
Kind of, yeah. It took him a long time to replace him.
Huh.
Of course, I like the fact that Metallica are jerks because I love Megadeth.
Really? You don't like Metallica?
I do.
Okay.
But if they weren't jerks, then,
Dave Mustaine was.
Dave Mustaine,
yeah.
in fact, and I say that, I've said that for years, but then I saw the behind the music for Megadeth, which is a lot newer than the rest of them.
Right.
When he says, I was a jerk, I was horrible, and I had a terrible drinking problem, and they were right to throw me out of the band.
Wow.
So I thought, wow, that takes a man to say that.
So who do you think's the best guitarist of the 80s rocker? Who's the one that stands out?
Oh, geez.
I'm going to take Satriani out because he's more 70s. So we're gonna.
Oh, okay. If Satriani is 70s, then I would say probably.
Well, he is 70s. He's more 70s than anything, right? Joe Satriani.
80s.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, you can include him, I guess.
He's more. Yeah, he's definitely more 80s, but he's not exactly mainstream. I mean, what did you hear on the radio that Satriani ever did?
True.
I mean,
so who's? I mean, because part of the 80s rock was the guitar solo, man.
Yeah.
So who's the guitar soloist?
Slash is definitely got to be up there.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, Angus Young. So many people put him up there.
What about Eddie Van Halen, man?
Eddie was the first.
I've seen him. He's phenomenal.
He was the first.
Phenomenal.
David Lee Roth used to make him put his back to the crowd so nobody could copy him because he was doing such revolutionary stuff.
Really?
Yeah, when they were first new before they met Gene Simmons, because he's the one that got him signed.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, for his solos, David Lee Roth would make him turn around.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You ever listen to a podcast with David Lee Roth? He's a pretty interesting cat.
I hear you. I've heard that, but
yeah.
I have not. Who is a podcast?
God, who was he on? Jay Moore. Jay Moore had him one day, and I want to say Marin. I think he was on Marin, but I know Jay Moore interviewed him one day, and I was really into it. I kissed like, whoa, But Eddie Van Halen, who I really liked was Steve Vai. Remember Steve Vai?
Steve Vai was great with when he was with Whitesnake.
Yeah, Whitesnake.
I know.
Yeah,
but you have to admit that was really good stuff.
Whitesnake back in the day, but
I don't think he was as good a fit for Whitesnake as the earlier guys that Coverdale had. But
right.
But he was great.
Yeah. No, I like Steve Vai. The audience is listening. Did you ever listen to that?
Oh yeah.
That's
and it's gonna be loud.
Yeah, Passion and Warfare.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, I was just amazed when I listened. I was like, wow, listen to this guy. Okay, well, we're going to wrap up here pretty quick. Before we go, Adam, you pulled up the top 50 hair rock, right? And okay, everybody, that's going to conclude part one of the two-part series on our hair glam rock podcast. Next one's going to drop next Tuesday morning. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Next Tuesday, we're going to talk about the top songs of the hair rock era and the top groups and all that good stuff. So that was part one. Thank you very much for listening. And stick around. Listen to Shameless to Say. Great group out of Cheyenne, Wyoming. Check them out. Here we go.
Baby, are you with me as we play out this love story? Making footprints by the beach's sea. My heart's the lock and you are the key. And if there's no tomorrow, take my heart and leave the sorrow under this California sunset. I swear you won't regret. What they
getaway.